Welcome to In the Moment with Maria and Shaun. This is our last episode in 2024.
Oh my goodness. The
Can
year
you
is
believe
over.
it? Can you believe it, Shaun?
It's crazy. It seems like time flies.
Well, yeah, because we started this show in October.
I know.
And that
we thought about it at the beginning of summer.
Yes.
And actually made it happen.
Yeah, it was one of those moments. In the moment, it really happened in the moment. Shaun was over for wine when the kids, no, literally, because the kids are finally on summer break. It was like the last day?
It was in June or something, wasn't it?
Yes, it wasn't right when they got out of class.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, because then we were going to go on this long vacation, remember? So we got together before I left.
And before I left.
Well, yes, because once I came home, then you had to go for your long vacation.
Exactly.
So it was like one of those things that we over wine.
Great ideas happen over wine.
Well, it's because Shaun and I, when we get together, we're always talking about so many things. And during that night, we were talking about so many things. And then it got to a moment when she was like,
let's do a podcast.
Yes, that's how it happened. It was really that.
It was.
It was. It's like, why don't we just do a podcast? We talk about stuff all the time. We might as well share it because other people can relate.
And then one day Maria called me and she's like, we're going to do a podcast. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it.
Well, yes, because on that day when we first talked about it, I was like,
you're like, what?
It takes time, and we have to edit, and we have to post.
There's so much work.
And then
that
I'm
goes
like,
into
I'm
it.
not used to the camera as much yet. It's right. It's like talking to the camera, and then it's like, okay, let's do a podcast. And then it took us a couple months. That was
because we were both on vacation.
Yeah, so it's like you came back in August,
and then our kids started school,
and then we didn't really start it till obviously October.
Yeah,
but.
And here we are.
Voila! Here we are in the moment with Maria and Shaun with 25 subscribers. So please
keep subscribing. We want more.
We want more subscribers. On that note, yes, that's one of our goals for 2025 is to have more subscribers and to share more stories with you of things going on and what would interest you. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So tell your friends and have them check us out.
Right. And obviously, right now we're wearing t-shirts. Actually, this is like from my t-shirt store online that I just launched like this month. Well, I started it last year, but never really did much with it. I got so busy with things with kids. Well, one of the pluses in 2024 with the kids graduating and then vacations and getting kids ready for school, my daughter going to college, everything. And then finally I said, finally able to launch the store. It's called Forever Christian Shop. Check it out. Check out the link in my bio and go there and check out what the store has. So hopefully you'll like it. So on that note, and then what else do you want to share anything about?
Well, let's talk about 2024 because it's actually coming to an end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so what is your greatest accomplishment? Do you feel like it's launching the t-shirts or do you feel
well, that's one thing. It's like finally doing something with it, you know, and I just like, I don't like the fabric.
It's nice and soft.
Yeah.
Very good cotton. Quality is very good.
Yes. You know what? 2024 was just a year of revelations.
Definitely.
Relationship with our kids definitely got closer, and they're able to share things with us that I didn't think of other years they were very comfortable sharing. Finally, being able to share with us and able to talk about it, and that gave us.
What do you think helped them open up more?
Honestly, I think when we were on vacation, we were forced to be together.
Because you took a cruise, so you guys were together.
Well, not even a cruise. It was like planes, trains, automobiles, boats, everything.
You guys were together.
Yes, because we were in Europe, right?
Yeah.
So we were forced to be together.
And they couldn't wander off and lock themselves up in their rooms.
Well, being here at home, we were never, just with all our busy life stuff going on, never really had a time to sit down and have dinner together anymore.
Yeah.
how it used to be way back when.
Because everyone has
Everybody's
their own
got their own
schedule.
schedule. So when we were on that vacation, dinner time was the big thing.
Yes.
Like we were getting ready for dinner, and then dinner was like a 2-3 hour thing that would sit there and we can talk about stuff. And
That's so nice.
yes, and that's more reasons to go more cruises.
To have dinner together.
Or not even a cruise, just vacation. Just,
Exactly.
yeah. So you're there talking with your family and catch up with a lot of things. And so so another, like another revelation is like, when you have disagreements with other family members and stuff,
You guys can work it
you
out.
can just put closure to it. But
Yeah.
one thing I've learned is that, and I think obviously my kids have learned too from that, is accountability. Like what? At least my kids have learned.
That's a big
accountability, because it doesn't matter if who's right or wrong, or just if you don't agree. It's just a matter of like acknowledging.
Resolving it.
It's just acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry, I said that. I shouldn't have said
Didn't
that.
realize
I
how
didn't
my
realize.
words affected you.
Yes, but
or-
when people what really gets to me is when people would just say, "Oh, why don't we just move on from it?"
And it's kind of like just brushing it
Like
under
brushing
the,
it
under
under
the
the
rug.
rug.
And then something will trigger, and then everything will resurface.
It'd
and
be
you're
nice
like,
if it's like, if it would be just an acknowledgement, like, I did that, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but not, just the whole, like, oh, well, I think we should just all move on from it from here. It's kind of hard to move on from something if there's no acknowledgement there, especially when you kind of put it out there, and it's like, I don't like how this happened, this is what happened, feelings are hurt, like, blah, blah, blah.
That's good that you can do that as a family, because you have 2 girls, 1
Yes.
boy, and there's
Well, they
a lot
learned
of
that.
different dynamics going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the thing is, it's something I teach them, and it's like, I think, but they learn from us being examples, like, obviously with me, how I handle it with family members that we have disagreements with and stuff, and it just shows maturity.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something that I want my kids to learn, like, if you've done something wrong, if you have said something that obviously did not, what's the word? If you said something that the person did not agree with, or
Or offended them.
or offended them, then at least acknowledge that you've said something, even though you didn't intentionally did what you did. You know what I mean?
So brothers and sisters are apologizing to each other, or are they just communicating with each other?
It's
or
not,
is they-
well,
are they going
how they
through-
how
are they
they
going through
communicate
you?
with each other is different.
That's a whole
Their
different
language
story.
is like what? But I'm talking about how they are with me and my husband, and it's like
communicating with
it's easier
you.
now. It's like, oh my, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. It's just a big difference.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Not like not like 2023, where it's like you say something and they get so offended, very defensive.
That's kind
You
of
know.
almost, me and my daughter are a little bit kind of at that stage where it's mostly the tone. And
It's the tone.
I have to like
Yeah.
correct her and say,
Mhm.
you can't talk to me like that.
Exactly.
And I always have to like remind her, I'm your mother, I'm not your best friend. Like you
Yeah.
can't talk to me the way you talk to your friends.
Yes. But they seem to forget that.
Yes, and I want her to feel
Well, I think it's
comfortable
because,
coming
yes,
to me,
I have to
but
say-
I want her to do it in a respectful way
Yes.
and not call me bro.
No, not bro. It's bruh.
Bruh.
I mean, well, that's the thing. I think that's it. If they're so comfortable with you,
Exactly.
and you have to look at it that way. It's like,
And
you're
I
so
feel good about that.
Yes.
But I want her to also be respectful because I know she's not like that with her teachers. I
Yeah.
know she's not like that with other adults.
Yeah.
She's super sweet and super
Right.
kind. And then sometimes when she's with me, like she's very, very, very
Well,
comfortable.
then, but at the same time, that means you're such a cool mom that she can just
I
say,
love being a cool mom.
say anything
but...
she wants to you,
Mhm.
and when she's around
and
you.
I try to remember that as well, that I want her to feel very comfortable, that she can be herself when she's with me.
Yes.
But sometimes it's the tone. And I need
It's
to like
the
make sure
tone.
that she corrects her tone.
Yes. It's always the tone, I think. Even in adults.
Oh no, it's probably me too.
It's just, the
Because
tone.
I get mommy voice.
Yeah. I don't know if I still have that mommy voice.
I do. I definitely
No,
do.
because my kids
And
are.
I even use it like day to day. I notice that I
Oh, how you talk?
how I talk to people.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at work.
Your
And I-
customers are like,
No, not customers, like associates.
Oh.
And I see them and I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say it like that.
Maybe you should be more firm.
I'm trying to get my point across, but I feel like I'm like coming across like a mom instead of like a
And they
coworker.
don't like, wait a minute, they're like, I don't want to be told what to do.
Some of them need to be told what to do.
Some people need to be micromanaged, I guess. Yes. I don't like being micromanaged, but I
No
totally
one
get
does,
you.
but-
I totally get. You just get teary-eyed talking about.
No, my eyes get watery all the time. They do. I have sensitive eyes.
I know,
And this
but you are sensitive though.
I am super sensitive.
Especially when you talk about your daughter, which is fine.
Oh, no.
It's just fine. This is like at the time of the year though. She is going to be moving on to high school. Like this is her last year in grammar school. So everything, there's a lot of evolving going on with her. And,
yes. Like so many changes.
And, for you guys, for you too.
Yes. She's so funny because she's telling me that because in middle school I get to be like super involved. I get to volunteer. I get to, go to the different like volunteering events and everything. Yeah. And when she gets into high school, I was telling her like, wow, this is the last year. Like I'm going to be able to like work at St. Nick's workshop or just do different things.
Right. Well, stuff that goes on in her grammar school. Yes.
She tells me like, Mom, high school is preparing you for when I go away to college. And I'm like, okay.
So she told you.
She put me in my place. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I think it's hard for parents to just go on that transition.
It is.
I mean, yeah. I think I'm obviously for my third one. It's like 5.
Yeah, you're all used to it. You're
like when my son went into high school, I was sad because that's my baby, our last, and I'm like, oh. But then when the moment he opened his mouth, like, bro, I'm like, oh, you're ready to go.
Well, that was like when my daughter started pre-K. It was the cutest moment. I'll never forget it. She had a backpack that was like almost as big as her. And she's walking to class. And I was telling myself, I'm not going to cry. I'm going to be super strong. I can do this. I got this. And I didn't cry until she looked at me and she said, Mom, it's okay. I'm coming back home. Totally lost it. The teacher handed me a tissue and said, your daughter's ready. You can leave now. I'm like, okay.
I think you mentioned that in another episode.
Well, it was such a big turning moment for this little girl to tell me it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I cried when my first one went to kindergarten because that was the moment when I couldn't go inside anymore. In the class, inside to walk her to the classroom. I had to stop at the door. So me and the other moms all had our sunglasses on.
That's what sunglasses are for.
Yes. And then your mom's like, don't cry. You better not cry. I'm like, I don't help it. And I'm like, somebody has a tissue. Somebody hand me a tissue.
I cry over everything. Yeah, my daughter tells me I'm super emotional. I cry when it's her birthday. I
cry
the first day of school. I cry the last day of school. But
you get touch with things so easy. Like, oh, but
just watching her grow. It's crazy.
But you cry when I share stuff about my kids too, which is so
sweet. Because it's just so beautiful. It's so touching. It's like,
well, you've been there, Shaun. Like through the good and the bad. When we would talk about stuff like, oh my God, I'm gonna pull my hair out. These kids. And then like watching them transition into these mature young adults and making good decisions. It's just like,
it's crazy.
Wow, right?
They're growing up.
And yeah, that's when I cry. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, yay, they have jobs and they pay for their expenses. But then I'm like, oh, they're adults. And they're going to move out eventually. And I'm going to miss that. But like, will I?
Yes, you will. For sure. Definitely. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. So 2024. Yes. You have like great things like graduation.
Yeah.
Love that. And
my eyes are not crying.
My middle child is getting her crap together. I don't want to swear on camera, but she's very focused on getting those grades and preparing herself for college. Met with her counselor. Like, this is what we like. Talk about her schedule. This is what we need to do.
You were telling me she volunteered to go to summer school so that she can get extra credit.
Just so she can get her grades and like all good for graduation.
That's super responsible.
Yes. So happy about that. And obviously my oldest, she's wonderful and doing great in college first semester, aced all her finals and grades are awesome. And she's gonna work full time starting Monday to make because she wants to save for a car. I said, okay.
That's good for her. And I bought my own car when I was younger.
It's a great feeling, isn't it?
But it was different then because it wasn't as expensive as it is
I
now.
know, right? But she said she's told my husband and I since day one, like, I'm gonna get my own car.
That's
I said,
good.
okay.
It's an accomplishment
It
when
is.
you're young, and you
she
feel
can build
like,
up her
wow.
credit, and she,
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
It's positive.
And then our son is doing well. I can't say enough how great he is doing in high school. I mean,
And he's adjusted.
I mean, honors classes, engineering program. I mean, he. I feel bad. I feel sorry for him. At the same time, if he can handle it, he can handle it. He, going to bed late, has baseball.
Yeah, he has a busy schedule.
Acing everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, so proud. And that's the thing. 2024. I can't argue enough. You have the good outweighs the bad. My kids are healthy. They're doing good. They're focused. They have goals, and that's all my husband and I can ask for. And then for 2025, I just wanted to continue and more blessings. And this is why we celebrate Jesus.
Is the reason.
And Jesus is the reason for the season, because it just reminds us how all these things that we have is because of him. So
absolutely.
Yep.
2024 for me definitely was growth.
Yeah.
It's the key word that I can say in so many different ways. Like growth for me personally, growth for me with my daughter, growth for her. So many changes. I mean, her being 13 and just things that she was going through, like with school and with friendships, and
how she's handling that.
And that's what I mean, like growth.
Wow,
like she's a superstar.
I tell you, I'm like, and I know you're feeling the hurt for her.
Oh,
but
I think I'm more emotional over it than she is.
But she is doing so well, and she's the one that's like, I think she's done with. I think she's just getting ready to graduate, and she's
ready. She's ready.
Her mind's already like high school.
Like, she's already there. She's already there.
Which is good.
In fact, she's there right now testing.
Yeah. Her placement test.
Yes, her placement test.
Yes, but yes, I think she's ready.
She is. She's definitely. She's gonna do super, super well. It was
so
nice. I was talking to a customer that knows my daughter, he was talking to his caregiver. Okay. And referred to my daughter as a prodigy child, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was just like, "I'm like, oh, that's how you view her. That's amazing."
Yeah, no, I think how she's handled everything, because not every child can handle that
emotionally,
especially now with the kids. I hate to say it, the kids now is not like how we were strong kids growing up.
Well, it was different.
Well, because our parents allowed us just to.
Well, we would go outside, we'd ride our bicycles, and you wouldn't know where we were at.
Well, they just they weren't helicopter parents.
No, they weren't.
But then again, there was not as much stuff going on back then as there are now, safety wise, and all these things that make us worry about our kids now.
Exactly. Right? It's like Big Brother's watching. There's
like that's the whole social media thing, and like sometimes it's like for the longest time I did not want to do the Life 360 thing, because it's like, well, then at the same time, people can have access to my kids' locations. Once that location is on, there's ways to find my kids.
So people can hack into it.
I'm sure. I mean, come on now.
I know. That's what am I thinking?
Yeah, so it's like it kind of. But then I'm like, but it's again, it helps, gives us peace of mind knowing where they are. Like, my girls went to this concert last night. They went to the Billie Eilish concert last night, and I put location on.
So they went without you.
Yes. Well, that's not the first time they went to a concert without me. But it's just the sisters. My two daughters went before they go as a big group, but just the two of them. And I'm like,
that's a big deal.
And I'm like,
but that's probably the right age. I mean, the first time I went to my first concert
college,
high school. It was high school.
Yes. But it's just that you still worry, because,
of course.
It's just stay together. Don't
separate.
No. And, put your location on. It's always put your location on, so I know. So I know where you are. I can track you. Anything happens, I know where you are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So you were still talking about
my growth?
Yeah, your growth.
My patience.
My patience has gotten better, actually.
My patience has definitely gotten better. Definitely. I hopefully like my listening skills, because like just really hearing my daughter when she talks,
Yeah.
Like hearing her and like just catching her emotions and her feelings, like when she's talking to me, and definitely just knowing, like for me, like my tolerance, like what I'm willing to like accept and not accept. There's a lot of things that like I think that I would just accept in my life. And now I'm just like, nope, don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
I've been doing that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe for me, it's also part of it is growth. For me.
Yeah.
Well, my kids also growth. Yeah. In a sense. Yeah.
I mean, you're never too old to grow.
No, and learn new stuff. Well, like I said, from what I was telling you, stuff that I learned, that there's some things you can tolerate back then, but now as you've gotten older,
it's like I don't have to.
I really don't need stuff like that in my life.
I think just cleaning my life.
It's
cleaning
like
up my life.
Can't. It's like if people are gonna lie, lying is a big deal to me.
Oh, lying has always been a big deal for me.
Yeah, and that's why I always tell my kids, I don't care how bad it is, just
tell me.
Just tell me. Yeah. Because then the trust is a big deal. It's a huge deal, and you know it's like you open yourself up to somebody and you tell everything, and then if they lie to you or they lie about you, that's another thing. When they lie about you and then they say some things and you're like, no, that's like my character now that you are messing with,
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you want for 2025?
Peace.
That is never going to happen. Peace on earth.
Peace
and
on
earth.
Well, peace, inner peace.
Inner peace.
Yes.
So what are you going to do to make that happen?
Good question.
Yeah.
Praying. I always pray about that before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It's one of the first, it's actually the first thing I ask for before I go to bed. I just want inner peace. Peace with family, peace at work or with friends. I just want peace.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to sleep
stress
or feeling bad about something. And I always pray for a peaceful death. If I am going to...
Where did that come from?
No! It's just... But you know what I mean? But that's...
not 2025!
That's why I meant peace. I just want peace. Everything wants to be happening in a peaceful way. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I know. But this is why I pray on that. And God, and I just want peace in my heart and peace in my mind.
Yeah. Your personal self peace.
Peace.
Yes.
Because no matter what happens, if I'm at peace, then I'm good.
Then I'm good. I can handle it.
Then I can handle it. I don't want to get rattled and then they get stressed out. Yeah.
I think I'm learning how not to get rattled so much.
Yes. That's why you called me.
I was doing 4 things at one time when I called you. You're like, you didn't even read the message properly.
Because you were stressing about my message. I'm like, did you not read the message? Then you wouldn't be stressing out.
I skimmed it. I'm like, okay.
She's like, because you responded like, I don't have time for that.
I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have time for that.
No, you're like, no, you're messing up my schedule.
You're messing up my schedule.
I'm like, girl.
Read the message. I'm not messing anything up. Oh my gosh.
And you're like, and you reread it. I'm like, oh. I'm making it easy for you, girlfriend. And now I'm just messing with Shaun.
I was cooking dinner. I was like doing
everything.
So many things in one moment.
Yeah.
And
maybe also, that was one thing you should work on 2020. Like that, not to do too many things. All at once.
So what had happened was I had asked my daughter, "Are you hungry?" And of course she said no.
Yes.
And then, so I'm like, okay, so then I'm going to get into this project and start doing this project. And then like 2 minutes later, she's literally like, oh, can you make me something to eat now? I'm like, I literally just asked you this because I wanted to do this before I started doing this. And then I heard a ding on my phone. So I'm like, okay. So I'm in the middle of doing one project, getting dinner ready, looking at my phone. And then I'm like, all at once, like, all I should have did was just go, breathe.
Just
breathe.
Well, 2025. We'll just
breathe better.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you have time to reset and think and like, okay.
Just one step at a time. It'll be okay. The world is not going to fall apart if I take an extra minute to just
I learned that from my
children and just, yeah.
No, they're the ones that would tell me.
And it doesn't happen a lot. It's just, when it happens, I'm just like frazzled.
And I think that's what made me a little bit more patient, I guess. It's because they would say, Mom, Well, it's gonna be fine because they're just so chill all the time. Maybe this is a generation that they're just
It skips a
chill.
generation.
They're just chill.
They're just chill.
And I'm like,
sometimes kids are too chill.
well,
and
that's
that
the thing.
bothers me too.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like, did
okay.
you do your blah blah blah? Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, I just asked you a question.
Right? That's what I mean, the tone.
The tone.
I'm like, I just asked you a question. You don't need to answer like
know,
that.
right?
It's like attitude.
But then again, I do the same thing to my mom.
Oh, so that's where the kids get it
Well,
from.
yeah, because like I'm doing something, she asks me like, what?
See?
Yeah,
Monkey see, monkey do.
And then I catch myself.
And it's true.
Yeah, and I catch
Because
myself.
children do mimic their parents.
Yes.
And that's when you can like it's like looking in the mirror and like, oh, maybe that's because I'm acting that way.
Yes.
I remember when my daughter was little, like I'm talking little, like kindergarten, she would stand there with her hand on her hip.
And you're good.
And as I'm standing with my hand on my hip, like, why is she standing like that? I'm like, oh.
Watch yourself.
I'm like, oh, she's doing what I do. I'm like,
Anyway, so that's just a little glimpse of Shaun and I's 2024 and our goals for 2025. And I hope you can reach your goals too for 2025 and that you had a lovely 2024. So just as we close, like we just want to thank you for taking the time to watch us. We appreciate it.
thank you so much.
And so as we end our
And hopefully
episode-
we'll grow in 2025.
Yes. So as we end our 2024 episode, this is the last episode for the year 2024. We
Wow.
look forward to seeing more of you in 2025, and we hope to bring you more content, awesome content to look forward to each week. We're going to have more guests and
our health tip for 2024
And many more tips.
is just breathe.
many more tips.
Breathe. Take your time.
Yes.
One step
But
at a time.
Whatever we tell you, we're going to try to do.
And we'll tell you how it works out
Yes.
for us.
Alrighty then. Okay, so till we see you again in the moment, Maria and Shaun. And don't forget to check out all the links in our bio with Savings Highway Global and Bella Vita. Savings Highway Global for all the benefits, savings benefits for travel and everything else, and Bella Vita for health, anti-aging stuff, and brain power. And getting shirts at Forever Christian Shop and more surprises. So again, thank you for subscribing and tell more people about it, and we wish you the best for 2025.
Yes.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Woo!
Bye.
Bye.